Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of XRP, taking a look at what has been going on most recently with the price action and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. It's the first place we go to notify everybody of what is going on in the crypto space, so why not check it out? Linked in the description down below. In this video, I'll be applying Elliott Wave theory. It seems more complicated than it actually is. There is a 21-part video course I've put together on 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, linked in the description down below. Go check that out if you're looking for more information on Elliott Wave theory, so you can follow along in these videos a little bit more clearly. We are running a 50% off coupon at the moment, and that runs until the end of the week, so check that out in the description below. Let's get into this though. So XRP paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is our data source. And we are kind of just in a ranging market up here, right? We actually kind of saw ourselves peak up into this wave 5, actually touch on our big boy supply zone at the top here. You can kind of see it right there. We then came down right down into our previous supply area, back up into our slightly mid-range kind of supply area right in here. Okay, actually this would be now demand. I should actually call this one demand, to be fair, because this is where the demand currently is. So let's go ahead and actually update that. Demand zone. There we go. Okay, so this is our demand zone at the moment. Okay, up here we have our supply zone, and up here we have another supply zone. Okay, so you can see that we kind of touched down on the supply, a demand area. We went up into the supply, we've come back down, we pushed through, unable to keep it, we came back down into our demand, and then so forth. Now, the next area is a retest of the demand, in my opinion. We can also see our 200 hourly EMA here, as well as the 50 EMA. These are less important on this small time frame. So let's actually break this down. What's gone on so far? So essentially, on a bigger scale, this looks like an A coming down, a B coming up, and we've got to come down into a C, right? When we take a look at this structure here, we kind of look like we completed something here, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like we have this kind of mini kind of structure. Now, it's interesting enough is I think this is probably just going to be an A wave in itself. So it's A, this is probably B, and then we've got to come down in C. We can see that we do have the sub counts going on here, like that. A little bit messy, so I'll remove it. I think we're actually in this next move being 3 down. So I'm going to remove this subwave count for now, and then we'll do some sense checks. So let's go do some measurements here. So the next move I think is likely to be going to be down like this. Okay, back into our demand zone. So let's go ahead and measure where we think that's likely to be. Based on the existing high and this turn point that we're currently seeing, whether or not this ends up being the high, I don't know, but we'll see for now. This puts us right down here at 37.5. Okay, so straight off the bat, it would be 37.5, taking us into this low point here. Okay, I'll go ahead and remove this off. Then if I go ahead and measure this distance right here, move this over to this high, we can actually see 36.64. So that means that essentially 37.5 through to about 36.64 is fair game. Now, this is where I start to have a potential problem with where things could go. Let's leave that there for a second and get rid of our fibs. If I measure the distance here, just expand this across this way a fraction, and then pull this across to this one, then actually, yeah, we're right slap bang in this zone. So all that actually lines up. The big problem I have here is obviously it would mean that we'd have to drop down lower than the demand zone, would be lower than the 200 EMA and all that kind of stuff. This potentially could then turn this demand into supply on the next run. So there's concern to be had in there to a degree. Now, if I zoom out far enough, you can kind of see that I'm still expecting some kind of potential move upwards. This is not a guarantee. We do have, of course, this kind of 3-wave structure coming in from 30 cent up to the highs of 40 here. I think it was about 40 something, 41 maybe, right up here. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go down and then go back up again even higher, because it is a 3-wave corrective structure right in here that is complete. So, I'm speculating that maybe we are, not quite done with the upside, and you still have the potential for just correcting down and then rallying on up. This would be a much longer term view anyway, something that would play out over probably a fair few weeks. So, you know, we'd bounce up and then come back down later anyway. So it was interesting to kind of see. Potentially we have this on the horizon. We'll see if that does play out or not. But yeah, for the next kind of move on XRP, I do think we have to kind of be considering a downward price movement. Now, from our stochastic, it's possible that we just push up a fraction more. We're not quite over, well, we're just into the overbought area, not fully overbought. Fully, I do think, you know, we have the potential to push up a bit more before pulling back, but we'll keep an eye on that. On the 4 hour, if I bring this up, right, the 4 hour chart is oversold, the 8 hour chart is oversold, the 12 hour is coming down, right? So it's still got progression there. Same with the 16, 20, and the daily chart is overbought, okay? The weekly got some growth to it. So I do think that there's some mini corrections to be had here, but nothing too major, you know, essentially. So I'm just looking for a fraction lower here before we kind of think about the next big mover to the upside. So essentially that's kind of where I think XRP is at the moment. Now, if I come up into our daily chart and get rid of the stochastic RSI, you can kind of see that we're looking at trying to move up towards our trend line here and our 200 EMA. So a bigger move to the upside would be interesting to kind of see whether or not we can kind of push up into those kind of, you know, mid 40s, maybe 41, 42 cents, something to that effect. It really depends on, you know, whether or not we have that kind of momentum. Now you can kind of see that we've hit this trend line a number of times already in the past, and not that I can draw a straight line apparently. You kind of see here that it doesn't look overly promising to think that this is going to be something that we're going to kind of, you know, keep, but you know, we're looking to kind of break past the 200 EMA, you know, and keep it, unlike the previous few times that we've done this. And we're obviously looking to try to push past that trend line. If I zoom out of this, you can kind of see the scale of these kind of areas here that have been hit. On the, let me bring up the, not stochastic, but the RSI. The RSI is okay at the moment. It'll be interesting to kind of see if we do rally up any higher. Unlike some of these other cryptocurrencies that have bearish divergence, we do not have that here for XRP, so that's a positive, and that's something to kind of be considering. On our volume profile, nothing too unusual. Volume is decreasing as price is decreasing. That's usually quite a positive sign, so looking good from that point of view. So there's no kind of bearish divergence or bullish divergence in here, and the bullish divergence would be higher volume and, you know, a lower high. That again, that basically is going to be indicating things are about to have a breakout, and we're not seeing that there. So it does, yeah, just a bit lackluster. Nothing terribly too much to kind of note from our daily time frame. But I think ultimately, if I can get my words out, we are just looking for a bit more of a push higher to kind of retest the 200 EMA area and of course the trend line area. Though I do need to kind of, you know, adjust it accordingly to those wicks. But you kind of get the idea. For illustration purposes, you can kind of see this will be essentially the fifth test of this trend line, you know, and that's going to be an important one. Eventually we will break through it. Question is, are we going to break through it this time or not? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. I'll leave this brief update on XRP right there. Just expect some volatility over the next kind of couple of days or so. Let me know if you are bullish on XRP long term, or whether you think the bottom is not yet in and we can come down even lower than the June lows at 28 cents. With that, all that said, done and out of the way, guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.